Itachi Uchiha is a tired of people glazing him because he's an ore farmer, bruh.
You and I both know Itachi Uchiha is one of the most loved characters in all of Naruto. The tragic backstory, the cold aura, the I solo your verse energy. It makes perfect sense why so many people call him their favorite character. But because of that love, the Naruto community ignores something huge: Itachi's biggest flaw. Most of his actions in the story were completely useless. I can already hear the Itachi glazers sprinting to the comments like, but he sacrificed his whole clan. Relax. Even the greatest characters need to get exposed at some point. So today, we're taking a real look at Itachi Uchiha and how a character seen as a legend might actually be one of the most tragically misguided shinobi in the entire series. Itachi didn't stop the Uchiha War, he only changed what it looked like. One of Naruto's greatest plot twists was learning that Itachi, the same ninja who wiped out his entire clan, was actually trapped in an impossible dilemma. He had two choices: stand with the Uchiha and help them rise up against the Hidden Leaf, or remain loyal to the Leaf and eliminate his own people in one night to prevent a full-scale civil war. Itachi chose the village, he chose the future of the ninja world, and he paid the ultimate price to do it. But after the massacre, it becomes clear that the Uchiha War wasn't prevented at all. It simply took on a new form. Whatever peace Itachi hoped to create shattered with Sasuke. His little brother, the sole surviving Uchiha, grew up consumed by vengeance. That hatred pushed him to abandon the Leaf, seek power from darker and darker sources, and eventually aim his rage at the entire village Itachi died to protect. Once Madara revealed the truth to Sasuke, his anger multiplied. This led him to join the Akatsuki, attack the 5 Kage Summit, and kill Danzo, one of the Leaf's highest ranking officials. And even beyond Sasuke, the deeper issue remained. Uchiha prejudice was never truly resolved in Konoha. The same attitudes that fueled the clan's downfall still linger beneath the surface. So in the end, Itachi didn't prevent a war, he only delayed the inevitable.
メンバーの到着だ。
Itachi didn't just fail to stop the Uchiha War, his actions actually strengthened the very enemy he feared most. Itachi's decision to wipe out the Uchiha didn't just come from a rebellious clan, it erased one of the strongest military forces in the entire ninja world. The Uchiha weren't just another family in the Leaf, they were the village's firepower. They were the eyes and instincts behind the Sharingan, one of the most broken abilities in the series. In any major conflict, especially the Fourth Great Ninja War, the Uchiha would have been an irreplaceable asset. But after the massacre, that entire arsenal was gone. And who benefited from that absence? Madara. With the Uchiha clan eliminated, Madara faced almost no opposition from the very people whose power could have countered him. The Leaf was forced into the war without the clan, that once stood at the front lines of its strength. And Itachi's involvement with Akatsuki, even though he acted as a double agent for the Leaf, still played into Madara's hands. His presence didn't stop the Akatsuki's plan. It didn't slow down Madara's Moon Eye project. If anything, Itachi accidentally created something Madara needed, a successor. Sasuke, shaped by grief, hatred, and the truth Madara fed him, became a second Madara in ideology. Not because he wanted power for domination, but because Itachi's choices pushed him toward a worldview where the Leaf deserved to fall, and control needed to be taken by force. By stepping into the shadows, monitoring Sasuke from afar, and never giving him the truth until it was too late, Itachi unintentionally forged a weapon of vengeance, one that turned directly toward the Leaf village.
分かってる。恐れるな。それがお前の決めた道だろ。
And beyond the political consequences we covered, there's an even harsher truth. On a human level, Itachi is anime's ultimate sellout. Supporters of Itachi often argue that he acted out of loyalty to the Leaf, that he sacrificed everything for peace. But when you step away from the shinobi logic and look at his choice as an actual human decision, it becomes something much darker. He didn't just eliminate a rebellion, he sold out his family, his friends, his entire lineage. And that's why many fans see his actions as morally bankrupt. If you've watched Attack on Titan, Eren's choices, no matter how extreme, were made for his people. He acted to free them, not betray them. The Uchiha never received that kind of champion. From the founding of the Leaf Village onward, the Uchiha were always held at arm's length, mistrusted, monitored, and blamed for tragedies like the Nine-Tailed attack. Those tensions never disappeared, and from the Uchiha perspective, they had every reason to feel persecuted. Generational prejudice, systemic mistrust, a clan fighting just to be treated as human. This is what makes Itachi's choice feel like a deep betrayal. Even if the odds were impossible, standing with your people is more honorable than slaughtering innocent families in the dark. And even as a respected ninja of the Leaf, Itachi had options that didn't involve bloodshed. He could have acted as a mediator, a bridge between the Uchiha and the village, just like Shisui tried to. Shisui literally gave his eyes to Itachi so that conflict could be prevented without violence. But Itachi didn't follow through. He abandoned the path of diplomacy. He abandoned the possibility of reform. And instead of activism or negotiation, he chose the most extreme option imaginable. In the end, the Uchiha weren't protected, they were erased. And that's the part that makes Itachi's story even more tragic. Irony behind everything he ever tried to accomplish. For all the sacrifice he made, for all the guilt he carried, for all the necessary evil he believed in, the results were the exact opposite of what he wanted. Itachi killed his clan to prevent a war, but his actions put Sasuke to seek one. He saved Konoha, but emotionally destroyed the person he loved most. He trusted Danzo with the fate of the clan, only to learn that Danzo had betrayed Shisui, the one person who believed in peace without violence. He wanted to stop Madara's ideology, but unknowingly shaped Sasuke into the perfect vessel for that anger, that rebellion, and that worldview. He wanted Sasuke to grow into a hero, but forced him to walk the path of a villain first. And even years later, in Boruto, Sasuke lives as an outsider, a man who can't fully return to the lead because of the consequences born from Itachi's secret. The biggest irony of all. Itachi tried to prevent an Uchiha uprising, yet he ended up serving under the name of Uchiha's greatest revolutionary, Madara Uchiha. Even as a double agent, Itachi's life became a loop of contradictions. A man who sacrificed everything, only to create the very future he feared. In the end, Itachi Uchiha stands as one of the most compelling characters in all of Naruto. He's the embodiment of someone who sacrificed everything, his name, his future, and his own happiness for what he believed was the greater good. But that doesn't mean his choices were flawless. His methods weren't perfect, and the fallout wasn't necessarily as clean or heroic as some fans like to imagine. To me, Itachi is still that guy, powerful, layered, tragic, and incredibly human. A hero with flaws, just like everybody else in the story. But that's just my take. If you see it differently, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear your interpretation. Once again, my name is AOI-KUN, and this was my synopsis.